Alright everyone, it's time to talk about Bernie Sanders, his tax proposals, and why they're unethical. Now, the fact that they're stupid obviously goes without saying. If your economy is going well, you probably shouldn't tinker too much. And if you intend to tinker, you should reduce the government burden overall. That's what Trump's been doing. He's tearing apart regulations. I approve of that. No, I don't care what kind of regulations they are. He lowered taxes. No, I don't care about the fact that people who are rich got a tax cut. Everyone should get a tax cut and pay less. And here's why. If you think for a moment that if Bernie Sanders got his proposals imposed, that the money that he's raising would primarily come from billionaires, you're fooling yourself. If you think that the money would go for good things, like, taking care of little kids and old women or something, instead of bombing people, you're fucking delusional. We can look at all of U.S. history pretty much and find very little peace. Just a lot of bombing things. For the last 100 years, we've been consistently attacking everything that moves. Do you think that for a moment, Bernie Sanders would get the Dems aboard in actually transferring that money to non-military endeavors? No, the government would fritter it away. And if the government administers a program, it always falls apart anyway. The government can't even deal with Social Security, which should be pretty fucking cut and dry. It shouldn't even be difficult for them to administer Social Security. It's a pay-in, take-out sort of system. The government's shitty at budgeting. It fucks around with the money all the time. It fucks around on trade. It took Donald Trump to partially fix some of our worst trade deals, replacing NAFTA with the USMCA, thank goodness. It's funny that Bernie Sanders campaigns in part against on opposition to NAFTA. Well, I didn't vote for NAFTA. Yeah, but you don't want to overhaul it apparently. So why not? I didn't like NAFTA, but now that it's imposed, I don't want to change it and make it better. That's Bernie Sanders' ideas for you. Now, the idea of high taxes is intrinsically unethical. It's funny because the left will say the U.S. is imperialistic. The U.S. is a world policing bully. Let's give it more money. Let's empower the federal government. By the way, we're going to take that same war-happy federal government. We're going to give it control of children's education. Not just like it is now where it's sort of a hybrid system. The states get involved some. No, we're going to completely federalize it at every level, including the post-grad level. From universal pre-K all the way up through your master's degree, nothing but government. So we're gonna fuck people that way, and we're also gonna give it your health care. Because the government, and by the way, let me ask the Sanders nuts something. Let's say Sanders is elected, which won't happen. He's elected, imposes all these things, pays off people's student loans with their own money, but, be that as it may, free shit is passed. You have universal pre-K and all of these other things. All of these things are imposed. Now, your tax rate's 70-80% on most demographics, but, we can be just like Denmark, I guess. So let's say that that's imposed. What if a future administration comes along? Now, you've given the federal government power over education and healthcare especially, and over other things as well, and it's got a much bigger budget now. What happens the next time some George W. type comes along? Aren't they going to take that money and say, well, I'll just lower taxes by 0.5 percentage point and I'll use that extra money to bomb things? Don't you think they'll just start building like 20 aircraft carriers or something? Now, I support a strong military. Yes, a deterrent-style military. I'm not like Bernie Sanders who wants to cuck out on the world stage. I'm more like Trump. I think that Trump's got the right idea. Get other nations to pay more into the collective sort of defense that we have in the Western world. We should sparingly use our military, but we should keep it top of the line. Now, there are ways, certainly, to reduce our military budget without compromising on our strength. The federal government, again, is very bad at efficiency. It's very bad at doing those things. That's why fucking $50 can openers, fucking $100 toilet seats and stupid shit like that all the time. Pork barrel bullshit for the war generals, for the war pigs. Anyway, don't you think that future administration will just take that money and allocate it to kill things? Oh, and if you don't think that that's actually the case, then you're delusional. If you think that it'll actually go to what it's meant to go towards, you don't know anything about the federal government. This is why we need to reduce the size and power and especially the budget of government and slash the bureaus and regulations. Even regulations that are well-meaning and progressive, quote-unquote, are simply used by mega corporations to suppress their smaller competitors. Because they're lobbying and helping write these laws. You do realize that Trump is tearing apart corporate-sponsored legislation when he reduces the regulatory burden. Cat sees, I guess, birds or something out there. I know, they look very tasty. Bernie Sanders probably wouldn't eat them. He seems to get along with avians. I doubt Bernie Sanders gets along with cats, though. They're better judges of character. I mean, come on. If you think that some war-happy Republican administration in the future is not going to take the money and bomb people with it. You know, now, instead of me paying a tax rate in the 20% range, I'll pay a 50% tax, which I know I'd get hammered because I pay a self-employment penalty, which is the most dumb fucking shit ever. I know that that'll rise. I know that my income tax will rise and the cost of living will rise. So now I'm paying money out both ears and both fucking nostrils and vomiting it into the collective coffers. And it's not even going to go towards taking care of kids. It's not actually going to go towards student loan debt and all of these other wonderful things the free ice cream man wants to give to you. It's going to go towards killing people. Because that's what the U.S. federal government does best. Fucking kill people. That's why we need to reduce its size and scope drastically. Yeah, I'd cut it by more than 50%. Half those bureaus shouldn't exist. There's no need for them. Most of them don't do anything. What the fuck does the EPA at this point even do? They constantly complain, well, Trump keeps appointing people that won't do their job. I remember they used to say the same about Bush, and Obama did the same thing to different bureaus. Yeah, the bureau's there, and it's there forever, and it doesn't even sometimes do anything. And yet it still gets more and more money every fucking single goddamn year. So you'll excuse me if I don't want to give the federal government a goddamn penny more of my money because it'll fucking waste it. That's about all. Peace out.